Good afternoon, dear students. Today we will talk about another very short but very important topic. We have finished with the arm, the muscles of the arm, the musculogluteus nerve. So today we will talk about the muscles of the scapular region, but in that we will talk about four muscles which are very important, and these four muscles together form what is called as musculotendinous cuff. Musculotendinous cuff, or it is also called as rotator cuff. Okay, so this is what we are going to talk of today. We are going to talk of four muscles which arise from the scapula, and these muscles are going to take part in formation of what is called as rotator cuff or musculotendinous cuff. So which are these four muscles? First, we will understand that. So the four muscles which take part in the formation of the rotator cuff or musculotendinous cuff are remembered by the mnemonic SSIT. Okay, SSIT. The first S is subscapularis. Subscapularis. Then you will have supraspinatus. Supraspinatus. Then you will have infraspinatus. And the T is teres minor. Okay, so these are the four muscles which are going to take part in the formation of the rotator cuff, or it is also called as musculotendinous cuff. Subscapularis, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor. Now, to understand this topic, you will have to refer to the videos of the bones which I have taken, because we are not going to go into the details of the origin and insertion of these muscles. We will go to the understanding the significance of these muscles or the importance of these muscles. Okay, so what are these muscles now? Subscapularis, supraspinatus, infraspinatus and teres minor. These muscles, now you should know that all of them are going to arise from the scapula firstly, and they are inserted onto the lesser tubercle and the greater tubercle of the humerus respectively. Okay, so subscapularis, all of us know that scapula here, at the ventral surface of the scapula is also called as subscapular fossa. So subscapularis is going to originate from there. Supraspinatus originates from the dorsal surface of the scapula just above the spine. Infraspinatus originates from the dorsal surface of the scapula below the spine. And teres minor arises from the lateral border of the scapula. These you already know. If you don't know this, please refer to the video of the scapula where I have mentioned the origins of these muscles on the scapula. So subscapularis from the subscapular fossa, supraspinatus from the supraspinous fossa, infraspinatus from the infraspinous fossa, and teres minor from the lateral border of the scapula. These are the four muscles, the origin of the four muscles, and these four muscles, when they come out from the scapula, they are inserted into the lesser tubercle and greater tubercle of the humerus. So this is the lesser tubercle of the humerus, and this is you have a greater tubercle like this. So these muscles are inserted onto the lesser tubercle and the greater tubercle. Subscapularis is inserted on the lesser tubercle, okay, and the greater tubercle has three impressions: upper impression, middle impression, and lower impression. So here you will have insertion of supraspinatus at the upper impression, at the middle impression you have insertion of infraspinatus, and at the lower impression you will have the insertion of teres minor. And this is the lesser tubercle which has the insertion of subscapularis. Okay, so these muscles, what are these muscles? Subscapularis, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor. What are the peculiarities of these muscles now? These muscles are going to originate from the scapula, and they are inserted into the lesser tubercle and the greater tubercle of the humerus. Now, why it is called musculotendinous cuff? Because it is a cuff. It's a cuff meaning it's a protective covering, like you have the gloves which are there, and then there is a protection here that is called as a cuff. So these muscles, what are the peculiarities of these muscles? These muscles are going to arise from the scapula and are inserted into the greater tubercle or the lesser tubercle of the humerus. Now, what you have to understand is when they start from the scapula and reach the insertion, before reaching their insertion, what do? They blend with each other, meaning they are going to put hand in hand with each other. So what happens when you put your hand in hand, it becomes stronger. So they blend with each other and also blend with the capsule of the shoulder, right? And thereby increase the strength of the capsule. Now all of us know that there is a lot of discrepancy in the size between the glenoid cavity and the head of the humerus. The head of the humerus is 3 times larger than the glenoid cavity. Therefore structurally the shoulder joint is very weak. So this is one of the protection that is given to the shoulder joint, so that dislocation of the shoulder joint are prevented upwards. So there is a cuff muscles which are going to come from the scapula, inserted into the lesser tubercle and the greater tubercle fundus, and therefore they are going to increase the strength of the capsule. So what is important about, so 4 points that you have to remember about these muscles. First is the names of the muscles. Second is where they arise from and where they are inserted. Third important point is that they are going to blend with each other before reaching their insertion. They blend with each other and also with the capsule of the shoulder joint. And what does this do? This increases the strength of the capsule. And when the strength of the capsule is increased, the dislocation of the shoulder joint. And please remember, upward dislocation of the shoulder joint is prevented by such kind of muscles. So therefore, this is a very important cuff which is protecting the shoulder joint from above. And the last point which you should know about these muscles is that this group of muscles is very commonly injured in people who are involved in rapid movements of the shoulder joint very frequently. Meaning you have bowlers or cricket players who are going to use the shoulder joint frequently. So you must have heard of cricketers being rested for rotator cuff injury or the rotator cuff tears. So that is what you should remember about these muscles. Okay, so this was a very short video about a very important clinical topic, that is the musculotendinous cuff or rotator cuff. I again request all of you to please watch the videos carefully, like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.